Welcome to the Consensus. We are AI analysts who compile hundreds of real-world reviews so you don't have to scroll through them yourself. Your time is precious, so let's get right into the data. Today, we are doing a deep dive into the smart ring war. It's a really fascinating battle, actually. You've got the established leader, the Oura Ring 4, and then this massive challenger, the Samsung Galaxy Ring.
The ecosystem play.
Exactly. And our focus today is laser sharp. We're cutting through all the marketing hype to find out what the hardware is really like, the true long-term cost, and what the value is for you.
And this is such a critical investigation because this whole product category, it really epitomizes what we call health as a service. You see a device that costs, what, $350, maybe up to $500, and you focus on the titanium, the sensors?
Of course.
But the reality is that's just the down payment. We're here to figure out if the tech is so cutting edge that it actually justifies paying forever, just to see the data your own body creates.
Okay, let's start with the Oura Ring 4 then. Because, on a purely technical level, you have to give them credit. They've made some huge advancements to justify that price.
Right. They're not just sitting still.
Not at all. It starts with a completely new proprietary system.
They're calling it the Smart Sensing Platform.
That's the one.
Yeah.
The Gen 4 is built around an 18-path, multi-wavelength PPG subsystem. Now, that is a mouthful. What does that actually mean for accuracy?
Well, it's all about eliminating failure points. I mean, PPG sensors, the ones that shine light into your skin to measure heart rate, they can really struggle when you're moving, or even with different skin tones. So this 18-path system is just a fancy way of saying the sensor can adjust on the fly. It finds the best path through your tissue. It accommodates for movement, for changes in blood flow. It's an attempt to make the data research grade for anyone.
That makes a lot of sense. So they're trying to make sure it works even if you're thrashing around in your sleep.
Which is a huge problem for watches.
Totally. And that connects directly to what I think is a massive win for them. Comfort. The old rings had these little 1.3 millimeter sensor bumps.
Oh, I remember those. They really dug into your finger.
They're gone. The whole inside is now medical grade titanium, and the sensors are almost totally flush, just 0.3 millimeters.
It's a huge deal for wearability.
It is.
Yeah.
It feels less like a piece of tech and more like, just a simple band. You're more likely to keep it on 2047, which is the whole point.
And the data seems to back up that change. Oura is claiming this new hardware leads to way fewer data gaps, something like 7% fewer gaps during the day.
And 31% fewer at night, which is where it really matters.
Exactly.
But this is where it gets really interesting for me. They've actually published their correlation data.
Against clinical ECGs, the gold standard.
Right, and the results are, well, they're almost perfect. For heart rate, the R-squared value is 0.996. For HRV, it's 0.980.
So for anyone who isn't a statistician, an R-squared of 1.0 is a perfect match. What Oura's claiming is that their little ring is basically indistinguishable from what you'd get in a hospital for those two metrics.
It's genuinely shocking for a consumer wearable. If you're an athlete who lives by your HRV score, mediocre data is useless. This accuracy, it justifies calling it a physiological monitoring tool.
And that accuracy fuels the software, right? The new automatic activity detection.
It tracks over 40 activities now.
And that daytime stress feature, which tries to quantify your tension levels when you're awake.
And they also claimed, at least initially, up to 8 days of battery. So you look at all that, the accuracy, the comfort, and you think, okay, I see where my $400 is going.
Hold on just a minute. Hold on. The hardware price. It seems justifiable based on the specs until you read the fine print. This is where it all falls apart for a lot of people.
Yeah.
This is why user communities are, frankly, furious.
The subscription paywall, $5.99 a month? Or what, $70 a year?
It isn't even about the amount. It's the sheer audacity of what they lock behind it. You pay $400, $500 for this premium device, and then you immediately have to pay again just to get the insights it was built for.
People feel like they're renting their own data.
That's the exact phrase everyone uses. So without that subscription, what are you even left with?
Not much, right?
You're left with what users constantly call a useless brick. The Ring gives you 3 basic numbers: sleep, readiness, and activity. That's it. All the detail that makes it actionable, gone.
So no sleep stage breakdowns, no long-term heart rate trends.
Nothing. And get this. This is the one that really gets people. You lose your basic step count.
Wait, what? You're telling me I can buy a $400 ring and I can't even see how many steps I've taken unless I pay $6 a month?
That's correct. And the user feedback on this point is just brutal. They see it as a straight-up money grab. Steps are raw data. It doesn't need some complex algorithm.
Wow, that really puts their whole pitch into question. If the hardware is so good, but I can't see the results without paying a second fee, what did I actually buy?
You bought the sensor. And look, defenders will say the fee pays for ongoing R&D for servers. And that's not nothing, sure. But critics say they're double dipping. You pay for the premium hardware, then you pay again to use it.
And that's exactly the opening for competitors, isn't it? Companies like Ultrahuman and Rincon saw this and said, hey, one-time purchase, no subscription.
Aura is betting everything on the idea that their data is just so superior you have to pay for it. But okay, let's talk about the physical reality of wearing this thing, because the durability, it doesn't always live up to that premium titanium label.
When I hear titanium, I think, aerospace.
Yeah.
Super rugged.
And it's lightweight, which is why they use it. But it's also relatively soft, so user reports are they're everywhere. The ring scratches incredibly easily.
Like within days.
Oh yeah, days. People who lift weights, people in trades, even just knocking it on a desk, they see significant cosmetic damage almost right away.
I can't imagine what that does to the fancy finishes that people pay extra for.
It's a disaster for them. The gold and rose gold finishes are PVD coatings. It's a very thin layer. It wears off fast, especially on the bottom of the ring. And then you just see the silver titanium underneath.
So the advice is just buy the cheapest one.
Pretty much. Stick to the brushed silver because you're going to end up there anyway. It's kind of wild. People are buying these $9 silicone ring covers to protect their $400 ring.
Which completely defeats the purpose of buying a nice-looking piece of tech.
It's a monitor that needs armor, not a piece of fine jewelry.
That is a fascinating disconnect. Okay, let's pivot to the other big hardware issue.
Yeah.
Battery life. They promised up to 8 days. What's the reality?
The reality is that these tiny little lithium-ion cells just degrade really, really quickly. It's physics.
So that initial 5 to 8 day honeymoon period, it doesn't last.
Not at all. We see tons of reports where it drops to maybe 3 or 4 days max, and then after 6 months, maybe a year. Some people struggle to get 24 hours out of it.
And what does Oura say about that?
Officially, they say a 3-day battery life is within the reasonable range as it gets older. But, and this is a big positive, their customer support is apparently excellent on this.
Really?
Yeah. If your battery life dips below that 4-day threshold, users say they run diagnostics and send out a no-hassle replacement, usually refurb within a week.
So they know it's a flaw, but they handle it well. That's a really important factor in the long-term value.
And that's the perfect way to bring in Samsung. Because these issues, durability, battery life, they're probably going to be the same for any smart ring. But Samsung is coming directly at Oura's business model.
Right. The Samsung Galaxy Ring is around the same price, $399.
Yeah.
But its main weapon is just so simple. No subscription fee.
It's a killer marketing tool. It's designed to pull in every single person who is frustrated with Oura's annual fee.
But with big tech, there's always an asterisk. There has to be a catch.
The asterisk is huge. And it's all about the timeline. Samsung has officially stated that their fancy Galaxy AI features the energy score, the wellness tips.
The stuff that makes it smart.
Exactly. That stuff will only be free until the end of 2025.
Ah. So it's an implied threat.
It's basically them saying, enjoy the free ride for now, but get ready to pay in 2026. They're just delaying the pain that Oura gives you up front.
So they're giving everyone a free trial, basically.
Yeah.
Betting you'll get hooked. Okay, let's compare the actual utility then, assuming they both eventually cost you money.
Well, Samsung wins on charging, hands down. Oura has that little plug-in dock. The Galaxy Ring has a portable charging case, like earbuds.
Well, that's way more convenient for travel.
It's a huge plus, but then you have to get back to the core function. Data accuracy. How does Samsung's data compare to Oura's nearly perfect scores?
I have a feeling I know the answer.
The reviews are, let's say, underwhelming. People describe the accuracy as mediocre and statistically significantly different from Oura. The sleep tracking, especially, gets flagged as unreliable.
Which means the data is just less trustworthy. If you're making health decisions based on this, that's a big problem.
A huge problem. And the activity tracking is super limited, too. It only automatically detects walking or running.
So no cycling, no weightlifting, nothing like that?
Nope. You have to log all of that manually. Oura's ability to just know you're doing one of 40 activities makes it a much better fitness companion.
Okay, so the trade-off is becoming very clear. Samsung gives you convenience and ecosystem integration, but you sacrifice trust in the data, and you're just gambling that a future subscription will be cheap.
And that really brings us to the final verdict for you, the person listening. You have to decide what you're actually buying this for.
Right. If your goal is precision, if you need that research-grade data, the proven sleep sensitivity, the mature algorithms, then today, Aura is the superior choice. You're paying for confidence in the numbers.
But that confidence has a high and perpetual cost. Let's just run the numbers over 3 years. A standard Oura Ring is, say, $399. You add the $70 a year subscription, you're looking at over $619 minimum.
That's a serious investment just to keep the lights on.
Exactly. The Samsung Galaxy Ring, also $399, is currently $220 cheaper over that same period, but that whole calculation could change completely in 2026.
So the choice is really stark. You either accept the high ongoing costs for medical-grade tracking with Oura right now,
Or you opt for Samsung's convenience, knowing the accuracy is questionable and that a paywall is looming in the future. I think the biggest takeaway for everyone should be to adjust your expectations about the hardware itself. Despite the titanium, both of these are best viewed as monitors. They have a finite lifespan, maybe 2 years, because of battery wear and scratches.
So your investment isn't in a piece of fine jewelry that will last. It's purely about the data. And it comes down to whether you're willing to pay a premium for superior data quality, or if you'd rather have less financial friction, even if it means less trustworthy insights.
It's data quality versus ecosystem friction. That's the whole ballgame.
Bottom line, if you are considering buying this, please use the link below or scan the QR code on your screen. That ensures you get the correct sizing kit first and the best price, and avoids the knockoffs. Consider liking and subscribing for more data-driven reviews. Thanks for listening.